What's going on, guys? I'm Will.
And I'm Cody.
And we are back for BootUpGaming Minicast number 4. And we're here to talk about the PS4. What?
And the Xbox
One.
4. Xbox One. So, next-gen consoles. They're coming very soon.
It seems like almost... like they just came out of nowhere too. Everybody was fine with PS3. I did not see anybody asking for a next gen console.
Well, I mean,
this year.
It's been kind of a long console cycle, this current generation, and they're still really getting more and more out of the systems still now. So some people probably aren't even ready for it.
It makes me wonder though, like, how good... There's got to be some kind of, like, plateau for how good consoles have to get. Because, like, think about it. I mean, when... Console gaming, I love consoles. I play them mainly because my friends play them, and that. But PC gaming, you upgrade your rig and everything. And PC gaming just always outpowers and outlooks console gaming. But console gaming tends to strive on exclusives, I feel like. And the exclusives made for the consoles look really good. So, how good can exclusive console games get?
Well, I mean, I think that depends on, whatever developer gets their hands on it. Some developers are just more skilled at working for one console over another, or they're just already in agreement with the company, with the console manufacturer. So, but honestly, I think you're seeing, in a sense, less exclusivity because it's just not financially sound to just do one console, so you see more multi-platform stuff.
Right, and most of the console exclusive things aren't made by outside studios anymore. They're really just made by Microsoft or Sony-owned studios like Sony Santa Monica, or
right.
Microsoft everywhere. Who knows where all their studios are. But, I mean, the thing that's really changed in the game now is, for the PS3, it's actually recently just learned that it wasn't going to ship with a dedicated graphics card, I guess you could say. And the Xbox 360 it did, because Sony wanted to really push their cell processor.
Right, which was kind of a mistake in retrospect because it was complicated.
It was a great idea. I mean, the Air Force used like 1 million PS3s to actually use run a surveillance system because the cell processing, can share all the processing power of all of them, make one supercomputer.
Well, that's why I bought my PS3.
But they ended up actually delaying the PS3 release, putting a graphics card in it, and that's where Xbox and PS3 kind of matched up. The difference was the cell processor. Now the difference really is going to be, besides functionality, it's going to come down to the PS3 has a dedicated graphics and discrete graphics, which means its chip also is a graphics processor within itself, but it's not the main shebang. The Xbox will not have the same kind of architecture, but both of them are AMD. I believe the last Xbox 360, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was NVIDIA. But now they'll both be the same companies, which enables developers to essentially program one game for PC and consoles.
Right, it makes it much more user-friendly. I mean, I'm already hearing that PS4 developers are so much happier with just the overall architecture and user-friendliness of it. I mean, I'm sure same goes for Xbox One. It's still user-friendly. Obviously, there are certain differences between the two consoles.
Number one being the price.
The price, there's $100 difference. What Xbox One is going to be, was it $5.99 or $4.99? So we're asking our research guy in the background. Check that out.
Xbox One will be released on November 2013 for $499.99.
Okay, $500. So that means PS4 is going to be $100 less at $400.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, that's going to be a big difference right there. Just the price difference.
What's really interesting is, a lot of in the console wars, as we call it, in this generation. It seemed like, head to head, the PS3 kind of did outpower the Xbox, but the Xbox tended to, or to me, it felt like it outfunctioned the PS3. The PlayStation Store, kind of buggy, still kind of slow. The Xbox, Live Store is really easy to use. When you open up, it's just like, it feels like I'm flipping through a magazine when I'm in the start screen. I see all these different little ads for things, this, that, free trial, and, PS3 has that. It has, like, the what's hot section, and it scrolls up. You have to go there, but it's just not as, it feels more like I'm using a computer, which is okay. And then, of course, cross-game chat and all that in Xbox made it really a more community-driven console. And when PS4, their new thing, they really want to strive for a community-driven type console, and they're really pushing social media.
Right.
With that.
There's even the share button on the controller.
Exactly.
That specifically catered to social media sharing. Sony is definitely more gearing toward the gamer and the community of gamers, whereas Microsoft is getting kind of more, they want the mainstream all-in-one entertainment box that's going to be pretty much the centerpiece of the living room, from everything from movies and music to games and basically everything. They want to dominate, which points to the increased price, because it does have more things going on in it, but there's definitely some negatives to that also, because you lose a focus on games.
Well, and it became really interesting, both manufacturers tried to do something different. Calling Sony's approach different isn't really, it's kind of an insult to the word different, I guess, because it's not that they're doing something different in general in the industry. I mean, because social media sharing is there. You got Farmville, you're basically playing that game and posting about it all the time. And this is what you're going to be doing on Sony's social network kind of thing, and also tied into your Facebook, where you're just posting what you're playing. Which is, I mean, there's already apps for that, like Raptor and all them. Tweets what I'm playing whenever I'm playing it. But that's the route that it seems like Sony's trying to take, whereas Xbox was trying to really do something crazy different, where it's like, the whole connectivity thing was so you're always basically online. You can play from anywhere.
Right.
Kind of thing. It's just, they took a really different approach, backfired in the early going, and
yes,
they've kind of U-turned around on some things. There's no online connectivity checks to make sure you're still alive every 24 hours.
Right.
You no longer even have to have the Kinect sensor plugged in, which was a whole thing. I don't know how I'd feel about Microsoft watching me when I'm playing video games.
Oh, I don't know. I'd be fine with it. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, when I wake up in the morning to play GTA 5 when a new game comes out,
I imagine
I'm not going to put a shirt on.
I imagine you waking up and the Kinect saying, "Hello, Will or Cody. How are you?"
The Xbox is probably going to tell me, like, "Hey, you haven't showered yet today, so you need to take care of that before you can play." That's
You have not eaten food in 3 days.
It's going to shut off and dispense a pizza, which I'll have to eat, and then it's going to get angry at me and make me play a Kinect Fit game for eating the pizza, because
you need to burn off those calories, fatty.
And like, PlayStation's over here with cake, but the cake is just a lie the whole time. There's never really any cake.
Did you catch that reference, everybody out there in gaming world, about the cake is a lie?
I don't know. I personally been waiting for the new console generation, just because I always find just that whole console war thing just fascinating. Like, because I've grown up on consoles, I haven't been as much of a PC gamer. So anytime this happens, it's always really interesting to see how it all plays out. And it's been so long since the last systems came out that it's finally, I feel like it's ready for a shift.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people lately have been switching to PC gaming because you can build PCs for really cheap now that outpower both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So people look at that and they're like, well, I want to play this game at the... they become quality kind of snobs like most PC gamers are, like me. I'm always like, well, I can play it on Ultra in 1080 or... And
Wait. Are you insulting me as a console gamer?
Listen, buddy, I'm a console gamer too, okay? But...
okay, then we're cool.
But... they want that the customizability, the openness to mods that you get in PC gaming, and with the social aspect of a PlayStation 4 coming up, I feel like maybe that'll happen. And that's the advantage that the Steam box might have is, on Steam, there's all kinds of mods you can actually download through like the Steam Workshop for your games that you'll be able just to probably download straight to your Steam box and be able to play all those different mods of game. And I mean, that turns one game into potentially hundreds of different games. I mean, with all that said, there's no clear winner in the race between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I mean, sales out of the question because so far PlayStation 4 has been crushing Xbox One.
Right.
Sales.
I mean, I think out of the gate, Sony is going to be in the lead as far as strictly sales, but it's still. I mean, a lot of things could happen. Because, like, perfect example, I in the PS2 and Xbox generation, obviously I feel like Sony was the more dominant one in that generation, but Microsoft gained enough steam going into the Xbox 360 that I feel like, including Sony's kind of missteps with the cell technology, Microsoft kind of gained the lead this current console generation, and we'll see who takes the lead in this next one, whether that's still Microsoft or Sony. And well, Nintendo has its place in there, but I don't think they're in contention for the leader. They just appeal to a different demographic.
Nintendo's always been in the race, but it's kind of like they're running their own race.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the same stadium that PlayStation and Sony and Microsoft are running their race, and so they're there. They're winning their race of Nintendo games on Nintendo console. It'll be really interesting to see if Microsoft can actually acquire some kind of like exclusive media on top of exclusive games to kind of also drag people in, as an entertainment system.
Which they are actually getting more into the like TV medium, like their own content.
Yeah,
they're starting to do more of that.
That's the route they need to go, and then we'll see how PlayStation plays their strengths by just drawing in the core gamer and all that social media. Will people like it? Will people not want to be able to tell their friends everything about the game they're playing and all that? We'll find out. Next week we're going to talk about the next Batman that's coming out.
Batman Arkham Origins.
What
about your
my charity stream?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that next week. November 2nd is actually when it's going to happen. 10 a.m., 25 hours. We've raised almost $200 so far.
Woo!
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that'll be live on the internet the whole time. Next week we're also probably going to live stream this. A little test run. So you'll see our faces live. You'll be able to interact with us right on the spot, question us, make this take us even longer if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to hear the dogs bark like they are right now that we cut out. So we'll leave this one in for you, and just a little
dog barking,
so you know what to expect. But yeah, until next time, guys, I'm Will.
And I'm Cody.
And this has been the BootUpGaming Minicast number 4.
The Bears.